Here we go. All right, Greg, go on Facebook. Boom. Greg, go live on the book. Come on. Hit that. And boom. I like having two joints on because I can actually be in the background, multitasking. All right, Greg, go live on Facebook. Let's get some music popping real quick. Let me do this. Now streaming on Facebook. Hey, it's one of the hottest beats that Dr. Dre made that they sampled. Live on the book. Let's share this real quick. Facebook, we know we don't own the rights to the music, so don't mess with us. Just a little bit of intro music to bring in the hottest internet radio host on the planet and the moon. Open conversation. Facebook, what's going on? What's going on? Make sure y'all share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Let's get everybody on as we do what we do, which we do every first and third Thursday on Sadior Radio and Facebook Live. Share to the groups. All right, we ready, y'all. What's good? Miss Darkchild traveling. Go ahead, you still can bring us in. You got a mic and a phone. Bring us in, Miss Darkchild. While I get finished doing this. Yeah. look.
Sure, right.
Look, she done disappeared on us. I gave her that hype intro before the intro, and you just left me hanging. Anyway, what's good, y'all? This is Mark 5 since we live, and I think Miss Darkchild can't hear us. Can you hear us? Shake your head, yes. Give us thumbs up or something. Pop a curl in your hair or something. Look, something. Unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Can't hear you. There you go.
All right, this is your girl, the Philadelphia Princess of Comedy, Miss Darkchild, and I'm on the road. As you can see, people, I am on my way to New York.
On your way. Okay.
So, you tuned into another edition of Open Conversation, where you hear us each and every first and third Thursday of the month. I'm one of your co-hosts along with my partners in crime. My man to the left, my man to the right.
Yeah, we don't know what's
Tell
going
them who you is.
Because I'm over in the corner on my.
Well, I'm your man, Simply D. I'm also in my car traveling. I just pulled over so I could do this broadcast. What's up?
That's my man, Simply D. How was your weekend?
Crazy. But
All right.
a lot of exciting things going on. We did the walkthrough for the launch party for A. Ford. That's going to be held in Cooper River Park on August the 16th. It's going to be a very, very nice event. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. We also got the man who's always on time. And this ain't the one with 5 behind it. You know the other one. It's your boy.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy. And I'm back in the building.
Yes, you got it. You see it. Mr. Fastlane is definitely back in the building. Much missed. We missed you last week. What's going on?
Oh, man, listen, I'm working on this project, so kind of here, there, and everywhere. Last week, I was all over the place traveling, trying to get these darn contractors in place, building this darn house. So, but all is well that ends well.
All right, you here. And the man behind the board that all makes it all happen, the man with the number behind his name.
Mr. Mark File. What's going on, everybody? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Open Conversation.
How was your week?
My weeks is rough. Ever since this stuff going on, my weeks is rough every day. Working around people, dealing with people, it's definitely something different. It's definitely something different that you have to deal with. One day you wake up, you scared. People try to walk up to you with masks. You want to drop kick them. It's depends. Every day is different. I can't say I'm bored.
All right, well, and the birthday twin, we celebrated a birthday a few days ago, 3 to be exact. So I know you were busy. So happy birthday to the Leos. This is Leo season.
Yeah, I hit you up. I ain't hear from you. Matter of fact, both of y'all birthdays, I think, if I'm not mistaken, passed since the last time we all was on.
You already know.
So, Mr. Fastlane, what did you do for your birthday? Let's go
Listen,
back to
man.
you.
Listen, I told y'all what I was going to do. Your boy went sky high, and I jumped out of a plane.
You
Me and my
did?
wife went skydiving. Absolutely.
How was it?
Scary as hell.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually planning on doing it again.
Okay.
If you do 3 jumps, you earn your certificate to jump by yourself. So I'm going to stick with 2 jumps because I ain't jumping out of shit by my damn self.
But at least you made it back down on the ground safely. So we happy to have you. Always miss you here at Open Conversation. But you jumped out of a plane.
Yes, indeed.
So he had his balls on your back. Tell me how that was. Tell me how you felt with his balls on your back. Don't deny it, because you just said you jumped out of a plane, not by.
Oh,
so you
man,
go
listen.
all the way up in the air to have a man put his balls on your back.
Yo, we can see that's gonna be one of the jokes tonight in New York.
Oh, man.
Look, don't y'all bite that new material. She just got that came off the top. Look, you know you gotta be careful.
Yeah. That was your weekend.
He couldn't even take it back. Mine was full of crabs. All the people out there that love me and that's friends of mine, they all bought me some crabs for my birthday. They keep coming. So every day I'm getting different crabs from different people. So I can't complain. It's been lovely. I'm on my way to New York now, as y'all can see. Ready to get on stage to do my first drive-through comedy show.
All right, so tell us about that. How's that gonna go down?
Yeah, that's what I was great ass.
You figure that one out.
So you gonna drive through like Ace Ventura with your head out the window and tell jokes and shit like this? Yeah, so that's why your mama like that. Like, how does that work?
$50 for a car full of people. So these Mexicans, Puerto Ricans will be packed. But tonight we're gonna find out. I hope it's just a stage and all the cars is there with a bunch of big speakers.
Okay.
That's definitely gonna be different.
Yeah, that is different.
You want to hear something crazy, Miss Darkchild?
What?
When we went to Bonefish Grill. Now we ain't been out since March, so they basically had 25% in the restaurant, and we were looking for somewhere to go for y'all birthday. So I said, you know what? I should text her ass because I know she eating crabs, and we could just go hit her house up. That's exactly what I told her. And then you said crabs. So when I talked to her, I'm gonna tell her I told you we should have hit her house. Her ass had crabs.
So how was Bonefish Grill?
It was good. I love that restaurant. I love that restaurant. It was quiet, of course. It was like only like 5 of us in the whole restaurant. So
anybody on Facebook or Instagram Live listening to us, please let us know. All these little small mom and pop restaurants is real good. You know, we'll come and patronize the places because Open Conversations, that's what we do.
Definitely.
It's nice to look at Simply D's back seat.
I'm here. Have a good time.
He's showing off his nice interior. That's what that is. Look.
Sexy as hell, the interior of this car.
Look. He probably got out to wipe the hood real quick in the middle of the show.
No, how you do?
Look. He probably, oh, wait a minute. That's dust. Hold up. You know, we them people that like to take care of our stuff. We work hard for our stuff.
Yeah, we definitely take care of our cars, don't we?
Real quick on Facebook.
He don't play that.
We got a couple people.
He backing this car up 12 times a day.
We got a couple people that said, hey, we got Red Man say hi, Dot say hi, James Valentine is on, Glenn is on, John Glenn. What's up, Pops? So we got a couple of
y'all all tuning into an open conversation where this is just more than just a conversation. Tell them Simply D, we here to do what?
Entertain, enlighten, and educate.
That's what it is. And it'll be none different. All those have tried. All those have failed.
You know,
we are the originators.
You know what's crazy is they can only get one out of the three. Whereas we can get all three. They can only get one out of the three, which is interesting. Just saying.
They can either entertain, they can't
enlighten. Well, they can't enlighten. They can't do all three like we do.
That's called skills.
And where else? Where else can you get a radio and get somebody talking about a man with the balls on his back? Nowhere. We do it all. We do it all.
So
listen, let me tell y'all about this real fast.
Right.
If y'all been listening to the news, did you hear about the CDC said there is a new virus that's going to hit kids? It's called AFM, I believe. And it's going to hit the kids end of August up until October. It is a neurological virus that has them a form of paralysis. It happens every 2 years. And the last time it was here was in 2018.
Wow. No, I didn't hear about that.
Kids 5 up and under. So, telling these kids to be careful out here. I told my son, y'all playing basketball, watch where you put your hands at. Don't wipe your mouth, don't wipe your face. Kids out here, y'all gotta be safe. So I guess, it goes to prove, I guess it is smart for our kids to be in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they talking about opening schools up though, right?
Right, yeah. Now, you don't want to open up movie theaters and restaurants and places like that, but you're going to open up the schools. I don't get that one. I just don't.
Fastlane, is that a calendar on your wall?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. Calendar right here on my desk.
Oh, okay. That was sexy. I was getting ready to say, nice calendar. So what else is the news this week?
Let's see.
Well,
go ahead. I was gonna say, Simply D, what we got?
Well, one of the things that I found interesting was the leader of the NAACP, Rodney Muhammad, came under fire last week because of the anti-Semitic cartoon that he posted on Facebook with some photos of black celebrities. So now, of course, they're asking for his head or asking for him to resign and step down. He made the comment that he didn't know the comments he made were anti-Semitic comments. And then he said he didn't know that he put it up, but he has since taken it down.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all feel as though certain individuals have favoritism when it comes to if they're going to be attacked or not? Like, sometimes you give your child you get 3 strikes type situation. because I'm
Right.
sitting here thinking about the whole what's his name? Nick Cannon said what he said. That was that. Now he said what he said. That was that. It's like no wiggle room for certain individuals that's at a certain status.
I actually think there's no wiggle room for anyone right now. Everybody is oversensitive, and they make more of things than what they need to, except for if fake news. That's my take on it.
That situation is very interesting. Look, as far as with that whole thing. Mr. Darkchild,
Yeah.
did you freeze? Oh, there you go. All right, I was gonna say, did you freeze? Because you wasn't moving.
You know, any time that you can make comments that you've done more for African Americans since Abraham Lincoln, and people are not in an uproar. I've heard some things, but I just think everyone that is an African American should be in an uproar about that, and they're not.
Well, okay, Dorothy. She told me to stop calling her Dot. Look, look.
Funny.
Yeah, that situation is very interesting. I think that since this whole riots and everything, a lot of people should take a break from saying anything. Look, because it seems like no matter what you say, if it's anything that got to do with the powers that be,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be touched. Look, put it that way,
Yeah.
some type of way.
Yeah. If it has anything to do with the powers to be, racism, socialism. I mean, I've had people attack me on social media. I answered a post, and this guy basically, Mike Dicker, was saying that he didn't feel as though the NFL players should be kneeling. And a couple of people came on and commented with him and said, oh, it's disrespectful for anybody to be kneeling when the national anthem is being played. I said, you need to read the third line of the anthem because it's racist. The gentleman came back and told me that I was an effing moron. I didn't know what I was talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Basically cursed me out. But when I put the lyrics up to show him what the lyrics were, I also told him that Francis C. Scott, the man who wrote the lyrics for the national anthem, owned slaves. Then he had nothing else to say.
Well, of course they ain't gonna have nothing to say. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to acknowledge the things that has taken place in our history.
Exactly.
They don't want to. They don't want to acknowledge that. And I will go even further and say they will acknowledge the things that has happened to the Jews, and they have tried their best to satisfy them at all costs. But us as African Americans, those that have been enslaved, they don't want to acknowledge that, because if you go back and look at all the things that has taken place with us throughout the years, they would have to pay us a great deal if they tried to give us the things that they paid to the Jews. They would have to pay us a great deal. And they don't want to acknowledge that because they don't want to accept the fact that a lot of them are racist. And I'm not saying all of them are racist, but you have to call it for what it is. You know, a lot of them are racist, and that's what it is.
Well, one of our viewers say they should not be saying certain things that they already know will get them in trouble. So is this another form of shutting us up?
Well, they would like to. They want to magnify the things that we say right now to make it say, okay, well, y'all saying that we're racist, but you guys are just as racist as we are.
America wants to forget slavery even happened.
Exactly.
You know, because you hear all the time, why do you keep bringing it up? Oh, you're not over that yet? It happened. It's history. What are we supposed to forget? Why can't we talk about it? Why can't we come sit down to agree to disagree? You know what I mean? And why do we have to forget? It's history.
Mm. So they just basically, I think that people should learn about what we've been through before they're so quick to say, why y'all still talking about it? You know what I mean? It's like,
There's so many things that are not taught as far as history goes in schools about the accomplishments of African Americans. You actually have to study it and learn for yourself. I'm still learning things about African Americans that I never knew. You know what I mean? Such things that we created or accomplishments that we have made that people do not talk about or that you don't learn about in school. You actually have to take an African American studies or go try to find this information for yourself.
and I don't even think they really give the depth of things, even with the African American studies.
Probably not.
I think you would have to really go to someone that really researched the background of the whole slavery and African Americans and stuff like that. Because I've listened to a lot of things that even say like how things were broke down and how when we came over there. And I mean, it's this gentleman, I don't know his name offhand, but he was talking and he actually took 10 to 15 years to been researching. That's all he do is research about his ancestors, and trying to more so get the true, things, which is going to be hard, of course, because most of those people passed away.
Right.
And the only way that we really can tell if it's the truth or not, if they documented things. And those documents passed throughout the family. You know what I mean? Throughout the whole chain of family.
Yeah, which a lot of things get documented. Like, I did not know that Harriet Tubman's house still stood up in New York until I just watched the Harriet Tubman movie.
Mm. Ain't that deep?
I didn't know that.
I think a lot of the knowledge comes out slowly.
Right.
Because if we got all this knowledge at once, I don't think we can handle it.
That's true.
Because if you really, really think about, and this is something that I think the younger generation need to do, is really understand what our ancestors been through. We get spit on and we be ready to fight and kill somebody. You're talking about people that got dogs to bite on them, water holes hit them, they got whipped, they got raped. There's a lot of things that our ancestors went through that I don't think that a lot of people really understand, what they've been through and how we couldn't handle that right now.
Right.
As far as what they've been through. So, and it's like we and this is just my opinion. I think that the powers that be try to make it a gentle. Slavery wasn't that bad type situation because
Right.
if they really look what happened with the riots and stuff just from that. So can you imagine seeing everything from the 17s and 1800s? Can you imagine just sitting watching that on TV live, real life live? Can you imagine what we would do to this world, not just the country, what we would do to this world if we saw them do that to our people right now with our mentality that we have?
Yeah, a lot of the powers to be don't. I think they have a close to the fact that slavery, and they don't want to acknowledge it. Another female came on, and she was like, "Well, the North was free. The North didn't have slaves." I said, "Let me educate you on something. As far as it shows on paper, the North was free and didn't have slaves. The slaves were brought in underground to help build the North. We still have tunnels from the Delaware River that lead to different places right here in Philadelphia, that lead to Germantown, lead to the zoo, lead to Girard College, places where the slaves were brought in underground and built these places. The chains that they had to keep the slaves prisoners are still in the tunnels underground at the Rock College.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
one
deep.
of our viewers said they buying what's that? The Grands. I'm reading the comments on the phone, so she's buying the Black History encyclopedias. That's smart to do.
Yeah.
She buying her grandmother's Black encyclopedias.
Okay.
You remember the encyclopedias? I think everybody used to have those.
When the salesman
The
come around and
brown
sell-
ones. Look, and they was alphabetical order,
Yeah.
and
We
your
have-
mom knew when one was missing too.
Yeah.
Let that
exactly.
yo, where my you at? Look, you forgot to put it back because you was doing some type of project or something in school.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That's something, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I think we have to educate ourselves as much as possible and really do our own research. That's something that you said, Simply D, is that we have to do our own research. We can't go by what the media say and what movies say, and because they're gonna feed you what they want.
What they want. They're not going to
Yeah.
tell you all the truth.
Exactly.
They're going to change it up to put it on the movie screen or put it on TV. They're going to omit it to make it more pleasurable for TV.
Yeah. They make it entertainment so they can make money off of it. They still can make money off of it.
Exactly.
That's what that's about.
Yep.
Well, to them, it is entertainment. The sufferings that we've gone through, it is entertainment. And that's why they make movies off of it. They don't make movies off of it to educate us. They make movies off of it to entertain themselves and everybody else who wants to pay or patronize them to go see it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And in order for us to make change, we have to first make change within ourselves. And
True.
that part we have failed to do because we still running around here calling each other niggas. We still don't care when somebody gets killed in our community if they get killed by a black person. It's okay. And I've had a guy tell me that it's acceptable for a black man to kill a black man as opposed to a white man killing a black man. At the end of the day, the pain that your family feel is going to be the same no matter who killed that person. So we have to get ourselves out of that mindset that it's acceptable for this to happen, depending on who's doing it. And we have to make it unacceptable for it to happen in our community, period.
Miss Darkchild, if you say something, Miss Darkchild, unmute yourself because I muted you because the air was draining everybody out. So when you're ready to jump in, just unmute the mic.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna it's probably get ready to hit a bad signal anyway. Just to make a point to what Fast Lane was saying. You know, when in that movie Jenga, when they had them boxing, them fighting each other, slave masters, had them fighting, the blacks fighting each other.
Right.
We still do it to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, let me comment. Simply D, with the shirt unbuttoned and the trees in the background, you look like Orange Juice Jones. That's an Orange Juice Jones moment. I saw you walking in the rain. He got out of his car and stood up under the tree.
You know what? The tree is all the way back there.
It looked close from the screen. It do look close. Just don't pull out no berries and no grapes and start eating no damn grapes while we live on the damn thing. That'll be it. I had to put you some theme music on after that one, bro.
Y'all make my job easy. Y'all making it easy tonight. Y'all making it easy. All right. Okay.
I can see dark now. Look, my co-host, this I head out the window. My co-host.
Yeah, right. They on talking about. Look at the New York.
Wow.
I'm buying grandmother. Let's see. Yeah. So, but I think it's all about reprogramming.
Yeah. Fast Lane. My question for you would be, with all the negativity, because what you just said is somebody said to you, and I might quote it wrong, that it's acceptable for us to kill each other or blacks to kill blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's where the disrespect come in? Because what I've been dealing with this week alone is a lot of disrespect from our younger people. You know what I mean? I was doing security at a pool, and because of the coronavirus, they only want 5 in the pool at a time. So, I expressed this to our young people that came up, and man, it almost turned into a riot. I actually thought I was gonna have to go toe to toe with some people because they got an attitude because I told them they couldn't get in the pool.
It's our younger generation. Unfortunately, some of them are lost. Some of them think that it's okay to have something negative in your life. They have accepted that mentally, and they live that way. They live their life on the edge, and it's like, you have to slow down and think. Every time somebody speak to you or talk to you that's older than you, they think they being disrespectful. But at the end of the day, we're trying to educate them on something that they may not know or have privy to because their old heads was only 2-3 years older than them.
Right.
So they didn't get.
Let me jump in real quick and say
got.
it's about old heads. I'm getting ready to go into this tunnel, so I might lose y'all. But listen, y'all listen to another conversation with Open Conversation. Continue and go.
Yeah, you're losing it. Yeah, we losing you. Look,
Yeah, she went robotics.
you just went robotics on us. Look.
But that's the problem, and it's sad because they are truly the future. Our youth is the future.
Right.
But they don't want to accept constructive criticism. They don't want to accept none of that stuff, because they feel like I know everything that I need to know, because if I need to know something, I Google it. I go on YouTube and see it.
Right.
But YouTube and Google can't give you life experiences from another individual. All of that stuff is inputted by individuals, and it's inputted based on their personal experiences. A lot of it is not even based off of facts.
Right.
So unfortunately, you had to go through that as you're trying to do your job, as well as you're trying to protect them and protect their health. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, had you let them go ahead and jump in the pool and been 100 of them in there and 50 of them came out with coronavirus, then it'd have been your fault because you let them go in there.
Exactly. And that's what I tried to break down and explain to them. And then, of course, I got, why are you here? I was like, I'm here because they was like, oh, yeah, before I could even finish. Oh, yeah, you probably here because yesterday we almost beat the person up that was here. So I guess they called out. I was like, yeah, and that's why I'm here. And it's like, yeah, well, we're going to do the same thing to you. I said, no, I guarantee you're not going to do the same thing to me because I don't work for the hotel. So I got a whole different mindset. So you can bring it if you want to bring it because it's going to be a different story today.
There it is.
Ain't that crazy, though, that you got to get like that? That you can't sit and just talk to them like they're basically, young adults.
Mm-hmm.
Because that mentality, they think everything is violence. Look at the 7-year-old that got killed because people don't have no type of responsibility of pulling the gun out. They don't care who they hit. Then I heard another child got shot or something, if I'm not
mistaken. 6-year-old got shot.
Yeah, 2 kids this week alone. 2 kids this week, 1 last week.
It was a 6-year-old that got shot, I think it was last night or sometime yesterday.
Yes.
And it was a 10-year-old that got shot. And then we also had a 12-year-old that was stabbed by another 12-year-old.
Wow. It don't make, it's like it's never ending.
It is.
Yeah, it's I don't even know what to say about it, man. It's like, we can say stuff all day, but until people get in the rage, like they got in the rage last month, the month before last, and start really marching and standing together and really standing up for things, it's never going to change. Sometimes getting together is not always about race. Sometimes it's about just more so the things that's happening in life. And it's a shame that people want to get mad and upset when it happens close to home.
But
Instead
see,
of proacting, they react.
I agree with the protests. I'm for the protests of Black Lives Matters. But my thing is this: when are we gonna get angry enough to start speaking up and saying something about black on black crime and what's going on now? Because that seems as if it's accepted. You know what I mean? And until we come together and we stop killing us and stop allowing us to kill us, because no 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old should be shot or stabbed to death for anything. My personal opinion. Because your dumb ass want to shoot somebody because you can't put your hands up and take a ass whipping, excuse my French. You know what I mean? You want to pull out a gun and shoot, don't know how to shoot, and can kill anybody that's around you. We need to get angry about that, and that's the kind of stuff we need to be speaking out about. Not just the police violence. We need to be speaking out about that violence as well.
But you know what? Off of what you just said, you know what makes me upset? And again, this is my personal opinion, is that when you start talking about the two, right?
Right.
Like you say, white crime, this and that, we got to start taking care of the black on black crime too. You have individuals that say, well, black on black crime is due to Chinese too. Chinese kill Chinese, white kill white. We always tend to push the topic somewhere else instead of just dealing with the topic. Okay, they kill each other. That's all understandable. But I'm black. So I want to focus on black crime because that's the neighborhood that's, I live in. That's what I'm watching every day. So it's understandable that other race kill other race and all that. But we have to stop pushing the arrow that way every time we bring this up. Because I'm noticing that when people say, oh, we march for this, Black Lives Matter and all that, which I'm totally with it. I understand we definitely got to stand up for the police brutality and everything, but we also got to stand up for black on black crime. Well, every time we talk about this, we got to bring up black on black crime. That's what we see. It's children. So are we supposed to ignore that to deal with the Caucasians that's killing us when right behind us, we killing each other? I think we need to deal with it across the board.
Exactly.
Period. So if it's Black Lives Matter. If white people killing you, Chinese people killing you, black people killing you. Black Lives Matter mean Black Lives Matter, not Black Lives Matter if a white person killed. No, look, you understand what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's something that I've watched, and I watch all the time on TV, and I just be like, okay, why can't we just work together to deal with it across the board?
Yeah.
Last week, the week before, say it again, bro. Go ahead.
I had my neighbor said to me the other day, I was out wiping the car down. So he comes out and he says, yo, what's going on? I said, I haven't seen you. He says, yeah. He says, I a couple months ago walked around the corner to go to the Chinese store to get some food. And when I came out, I got knocked upside my head. I got a cracked skull where I have concussions. They bust up his mouth. His mouth was wired shut. And he said, they did all that to rob me. I was like, are you serious? He says, yeah. He said, I just walked right around the corner. And I was like, you know what? That's exactly why I don't walk out anywhere. You know what I mean? And if I do, I have to have a friend with me.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's sad. It's sad because you should be able to walk wherever you want to walk.
Right.
And enjoy some of the fruits of your labor, including being able to walk into any store to purchase something to eat, drink, or whatever without having to worry about being knocked over side your head. And what makes it even worse is when we talk about Black Lives Mattering, if I walk to a store and my life matters, why does it no longer matter if I get robbed, assaulted, or murdered by a black man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And why do I have to have something extra with me just to protect myself?
Exactly. Because that's the part that's going to make the news.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Dennis shot somebody, and they're not going to, it's not going to be about what happened, the action that led up to your reaction. The only thing you're going to hear on the news about is your action.
Right, my action. Exactly. Yep.
Do you remember they robbed that out? Was it out West Philly or somewhere at a T-Mobile store? One of these stores. The guy shot the person that came in because he went in the store to rob him. Then he looked back, and the boy came over the counter and shot him and killed him. They talked about the guy shooting him through the whole damn story. And I'm like, okay, but what about this man going in the store to rob this man? That
Yeah. That was
narrative
that was
changed.
yeah.
Yeah, it's wiped
That
out.
was the whole purpose of the thing transpiring, but it wasn't the story.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I think what it is we have to start more so focusing in on the problems at hand. We all know, who the badass kids, who's walking around the neighborhood causing ruckus and all that type stuff. And I think I said this morning on Coffee for Thoughts, that people tend to also say, well, you're not from the streets, not to me, but they say, you're not from the streets, so you don't know the street codes and how things go down in the street. And I always have this conversation with my big brother. He said, back when we were growing up, and it was a code that you live by. Kids, older women, and adults and stuff that's not into the streets don't get mixed in the streets.
Exactly.
There's been times where me and an individual see each other and we already knew on dot, we pulling. One of us got to go.
Right.
But what happened was when we seen people come there, you put it back in and you go next time.
Yeah.
You're lucky this time, but next time I see you when and you know who I'm talking about, cuz.
Yeah.
Look, next time I see you is on point.
Oh,
But we
yeah.
didn't start like letting loose because we seen each other because it was too, you have
people around.
environment.
Yeah.
They don't have that no more. Now it's, I don't care whoever get hit, getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out the window. It's like all everything is a go now. You know, about kids, they don't care about the elderly, they don't care about women. I mean, what in the hell was up with the sister getting shot on the sector platform? You know what I mean? Are you serious?
This is where it's at. This is
Right.
where it's at when it comes to them. They're not thinking.
Right.
It's like you're defeating the purpose. I watched something 2 weeks ago in Chicago when it was some guys, I don't know if y'all seen this, in a Chinese store, and the guy was in there with his girlfriend. And I guess one of the guys was talking junk to his girlfriend. And this guy actually just shot the guy in the head, shot 2 other people.
I saw that, yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, on camp now, everybody know cameras is he didn't even care. Just because they said something to his girl. Now, I sat there and looked at that and said, okay, now you go to jail, and one of these boys down the street is going to be tapping your girl while you're in jail because you shot somebody because they said something. It's just like, they don't think. And I told a guy today at work, I said, yesterday, I said, what you have to start doing is this. Something happened, we got to stop moving. You got to think a little bit first before you move on whatever direction. Think of, all right, if I do this, what's going to be the repercussions?
Mm-hmm.
They just on go.
Right.
And then afterwards, and I'm sure you can co-sign this, when you up in them cells crying, wishing you wouldn't do nothing, and you sitting there, you Uncle Bo, soap bender, now you upset. And now you thinking, now you ain't got nothing but time to think, and you sitting there, oh man, this and that, instead of thinking beforehand, you thinking afterhand, and it's too late.
It's too late. Yeah, and I seen where they in at trial, and then they stand up to get sentenced, and then they can't believe they're getting all that time. You know what I mean? And now it's like, what? Oh, now they want to. Oh, I'm getting all this time for what? Or they want to faint and pass out or start crying. You didn't think about all that when you was doing the crime?
I want to say something about that. And this might sound harsh. And because it's like, it's an anger moment real quick. Because this stuff pisses me off. If some individual, and this is to anybody that know me, and this is straight up. First, Red said they just don't think like we did back in the day on Facebook.
Yeah.
This is, and some people ain't gonna like me, but I don't care. stop saying free individuals that you know murdered the person. Like, stop with the dumb shit. Seriously. I watch on Facebook and Instagram, people like, free Uncle Willie. Yo, Uncle Willie killed 3 people on tape. Like,
Right.
I don't care if you're my cousin, my brother, or whoever. If you did some dumb shit, don't expect me to be wearing no shirt talking about free your ass.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, think about before you do what you do. And then, you know, if you're innocent and everything, yeah, I'm going to back you 110%.
Exactly.
If I know that, I really know that you didn't do it, yes, I'm going to represent free you because you don't deserve to be there.
Mhm.
But if you sitting there with a gun in your hand like this, with smoke coming out of it, and 3 people dead right there, and you sitting there like, oh, I shouldn't have did that, I'm not going to be talking about free ass. Like, come on.
Exactly. Right.
You know, and I see that a lot. We have the mentality now that, you know, because we know the individual that they're not wrong.
Mhm.
But you're not thinking about the family that just basically got to go through that whole thing the rest of their lives. Because people fail to realize that, and I'm talking from experience, from a couple of experiences with losing people from violence. And also talking from experience with knowing someone half of our lives being locked up that was innocent. That I know for sure, and the whole world know that he was innocent for 25.5 years. So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm talking just because I read some books or some shit, because you get a lot of people that don't know nothing about the lifestyle, never been through anything, but they want to talk about things like they are specialists because they watch the fucking movie.
Right.
You understand what I mean? All of us on this right now live this movie.
Right.
We experience death by streets and all those type things, and almost took a couple of L's ourselves.
Yeah. Firsthand.
So, you know, it's like we have to start understanding that right is right, wrong is wrong, no matter who the hell it is.
Exactly.
Because you have to look at the repercussions of that 7-year-old that got killed, his family, what he has to go through, as far as, you know, the father, the mother, the aunt, or whoever, you know, that has to go through that pain because you were stupid enough and probably didn't even hit the person they was trying to hit.
They did. They did. All 3 of them is actually in jail now. The last 2 turned themselves in because their face was plastered all over the news.
Oh, okay.
And that the street justice, at least going to jail, they'll be able to see their folks. If the people that, you know, the family members of that 7-year-old got to them, then the only thing that they was going to see was the inside of a pine box.
Okay.
And that's the thing. People think that you do stuff to people and it's just going to be okay. You know what I mean? They got to go through a lifetime of pain.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Lifetime of pain. I lost someone, it's been 18 years, and I still, every now and then, sit back and think about it. My nephew that got killed, the family, we still go through that around certain times. The birthday, the date of the death anniversary. When you see somebody else get killed, it reminds you of what you've been through.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's the part that, you know, someone said that it takes a village, but it's like, what type of village do we have to be to make a change?
Right. And I agree with the village, but the, what do you want to call them? The what do you call the young ones in the village?
Assholes.
Yeah.
They're not listening. They are listening to the chiefs. You know what I mean? Or the wise men in the village. They're not listening.
So the thing is, again, they don't have respect for themselves. So you know damn well they're not gonna respect the chiefs.
Right. They don't respect anybody that's come before them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like they have closed ears. And I understand people are, well, keep trying. It's only but so much you're going to do to try to reach an individual before you give up, because you know you're not going to reach them. You know, they just don't care. You know what I mean? And anytime they can curse their own mother out and don't listen to their own mother, you know this is a lost cause.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, what do you, and I think this is all from drugs. This is all from generations ago of the children, as far as crack baby era.
Crack baby era, having babies,
Not raising them.
I want to be friends with my kid. I'm not gonna beat them the way my mom or my dad beat me. No, you need to beat that ass, because if you was beating that ass, they wouldn't be disrespectful in the way that they are.
And that's the part that's crazy. Would you ever say and do some of the things that these children do to your parents?
Hell
Hell
no.
no. What's the difference? They used to whip our ass. And the thing about it is, they didn't say, oh, let me go get my belt. If it's a broom, if it's an extension cord, a mop stick, or whatever, they grabbing whatever's close. Because they want to whip your ass while they mad. They don't want no cool down time. They don't want no cool down time to go get no belt. No, I'm pissed now. Let me grab this light switch or whatever the case. They want to burn that. And then they telling you to shut the hell up while they whipping your ass. Like,
Before they give you
hurt.
something to cry for. Just shut up before I give you something to cry for. Damn it, you already giving me something to cry for.
Look,
The good one was when you thought you escaped and you went to bed. It was like, oh yeah, they forgot. Yeah, okay.
that's true. Somebody said back in the day, and that's true too, that the person that caught you would whip your ass, then your parent would whip your ass after that. Because I remember as a time Mr. Winston grabbed me, and I was like, damn, this, like Mr. Winston lived on a block, and I think he was trying to grip me up and shaking me and shit. I'm like, yo. And then after that, he told my mom, and then I got in trouble again.
Yeah, Mr. Winston play. He did not play.
No, at all. He was like, man, the neighborhood pop or something. Shit, look. But you know what? You respected him.
Exactly.
You wouldn't see him, you wouldn't cuss around him or nothing.
That's the village that Fastlane is talking about, because we respected Mr. Winston, because I respect him. I had so much respect for that man. You know what I mean? Because he was a straight up dude.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Nowadays, I think a lot of older people don't want to really say anything because they're like, damn, I might get shot. Look,
Right.
Or, anything like that.
Yep.
Wow.
So it's a messed up situation. And I say it's a messed up situation because on one hand, you have the police officers, the dirty police officers, because of course all police officers aren't bad. So you got the dirty police officers that's doing dirt, that's tarnishing the police officers and, the law enforcement name, right?
Right.
But then you have the kids that need the good police officers, the more so, not scare them, but at least make them scared of authority, because they don't have no scaredness at home. They do what they want to do. They go out, they come in when they want. So who do they fear?
Mm-hmm. Nobody.
So it's an unbalanced situation right now.
Yes, it is. It really is. Yep.
And then they're so used to not fearing anything, then they start not fearing God.
Yeah.
Because if you fear God, half of the stuff y'all do, y'all wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's like, what do you do?
Life.
Listen, I know we done went on and on and
I
on.
know.
But we got some other things that we need to address here. Simply D.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all saw this post. I thought the post was funny, but I when I watched it, I was like, how true is this? And I like the way that the brother did it, because he did not get upset. And I'm talking about the post where the young man gave his girlfriend a present.
Right.
He opened the present. It was a bottle of wine, and then it was still something else in it. He said, keep going. She opened the DNA test to tell her that the baby that he thought was his daughter for 3 years wasn't his. And she still stick to the lie and was like, it's your daughter. He's like, it is not my daughter. The DNA proves it's not my daughter. You lied to me and you were messing around. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. He was like, the test results proves it. You know what I mean? So he gave him to the end of the week, I think, to move out. A lot of people said, what do you think?
Say that again. You said he was wrong for that?
Yeah, a lot of people said he was wrong.
For which part? Telling she got to move out?
Yeah, she had to move. Her and her daughter had to move out.
He better than me, because she wouldn't have got a week. You got to go right now.
And see, this is the thing that makes me upset with that. If it was vice versa and say a man got caught doing something dirty, his ass would have been kicked out that night.
Mm-hmm.
Pack your stuff and get out.
Exactly.
What's the difference?
Right.
There's
What if
none.
she lied? She got caught. She was lying for 3 years. You know what I mean? Then she tried to twist her. Why didn't you give this to me before? Hey, he was like, I just got to it. You know what I mean? I had a feeling and I went with it. It doesn't matter how long it took. I proved that this is mine. I just hope that name wasn't on that birth certificate.
Somebody
Yeah.
said why?
Then he got to fight to get it. Then he got to fight. That's another court battle.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another court
And
battle.
you don't get none of that money back from them 3 years either.
No.
Exactly. Somebody said, why what?
Why? Ask. Why? We don't understand what you mean by why. Why? What? Go into more depth
Yeah.
about why you saying why. But that's the part that's crazy. That you spent 3 years of money taking care of a child that you found out wasn't yours.
Uh-huh.
You don't get none of that money back. So should he be able to sue her for that money?
Well, here's the thing, and I blame him. And I'm gonna tell you why I blame him. Because the baby came out with blue eyes and blonde hair. Damn it, you knew the baby wasn't yours. Both of y'all look like Flavor Flav. So how y'all get a light-skinned baby with blue eyes and blonde hair? You knew the baby wasn't yours. You
True
waited
that.
3 years. You wanted to play daddy.
Yeah.
So should every man pay for a DNA test nowadays?
Man, they better go see Dana.
Yeah.
Dana is the truth.
If you're
Ain't-
not 100% sure, you better get that test.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Because like Fastlane said, once you sign that certificate, that's a whole nother court battle. And I know brothers who have lost.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge said, did you sign the certificate? He's like, yeah. Okay, well, even though you got the DNA test to prove it's not yours, you still got to pay to the 18.
Oh, she was saying, why did he wait? He should have put her ass out that night. That's what she was saying. And Red said, yep.
Who knows? He had a heart, and he didn't put him out that night. He gave him to the end of the week.
That's giving her too much the time to get some things together, to collect some stuff that ain't hers and all. Nah.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to go. By AM, you got to be out.
Hey, listen. If you want to know that it's real, but it's escapable, think about the Mark 8. You know who the Mark 8 is?
What's that?
That's the other 3 goddamn kids that the Mark 5 ain't got attached to his name.
I knew you was gonna go there. No, but this might be, I don't know if we put this in the topics, but I heard this on the way home that Dr. Dre is trying not to pay his wife nothing. They saying that they had a
Prenup.
Yeah.
But she said he tore it up.
So, like, how does that work? Because you know he's worth $800 million.
So what I heard was they're still trying to enforce the prenup, even though he tore it up. He's trying to see if it's like lawyer or somebody got a copy and they can still enforce it. She's saying he tore it up out of love, so it should be wide open. She should be able to get half.
I think she shouldn't, because her dumbass should have got a copy of the prenup when she first did it.
Well, here's the thing. She's going to get something.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she should
She's
get
going to get paid. And she does it, and all depending on how many years that she's been married to him, she deserves to get something.
Yeah,
Can't
I
say
agree with that.
you don't deserve anything. She done been with him, X amount of years. Now,
Yeah.
she only been around for a year and a half, then no, you get your bags. But if she's been around for a minute, then she's earned something just for being his wife.
But how much?
What it is.
I can't understand why they fighting. I'd have been like, yo, here go 200,000. Get out my face.
Shit, 200,000.
About Tracy
200
Morgan.
million.
You said 200 million.
Tracy Morgan wife won $50 million.
Damn. And all he did was get hit by a goddamn Walmart truck.
Yeah.
How much did he get?
For a divorce, and she won $50 million.
Oh,
yeah,
he found a prenup. Somebody just said he found a prenup.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
But I mean, I
give her something.
Yeah, you should get something, but that damn much? Hell no. And I think that's another thing that is wrong with society. And half of the women agree that they should be getting half, which is unheard of. No, you do not deserve half. How many?
She should get a quarter.
Eddie
How many
Murphy
jokes
told y'all that
did
crap
you
back
tell?
in the 80s. Ain't nobody want to listen.
How many jokes did you tell? How many beats did you write? Come on. Half? Get the hell out of here.
She
I'll
gave
say,
him the idea for beats.
yeah. Look. Look.
I can't, man. I can't.
She said, baby, put a B on them headphones and let me be able to talk to you when you in the studio. He said, you know what? I'm going to do that. And he
You know,
did it. He made hundreds of millions of dollars off of it and sold it to Apple and got like $1 billion for it. Yeah, she deserves at least 200 million.
Somebody
okay.
said, I don't think that she was around when he created all that. She wasn't his wife at the time. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes, it was.
was she? Yeah, she was around since Miss LA, right?
It was.
Oh, well, then
Yeah, that's the one I think he left Miss LA for.
Exactly.
well, guess what?
Still,
He better
still,
get that 400 million up.
I ain't
he
gonna lie.
still don't deserve that. But that's just like, if I don't know if you recall, when Strahan was playing for the New York Giants, he signed a $400 million contract. The very next day, his wife said, I want a divorce. I want $200 million for me, and I want child support on top of that.
I would have killed her.
That's just crazy.
I'd have been like Ray Caruth. They'd
Well, look
have
at
found her in the back of a trunk in South Carolina.
Yeah, I remember.
dig this though. The Amazon guy got a divorce, right?
Yeah,
The richest person in the world, right? This is how rich he is. He's the richest person in the world. His wife and him got a divorce. She's now the 12th richest person in the world. And he's
exactly.
still the richest person in the world. That's when you got money. Look,
But still, but still, the question is, do she deserve to get that much money?
Yeah,
yeah, and I think she got like a couple billion or something, didn't she?
yeah. She deserved
Yeah,
it.
it's ridiculous, man. The court system needs to be changed.
She earned it. She earned
I'm
it.
just talking about her. I'm talking about in general, period.
And I would have took her for a nice ride on the yacht and had a big ass box on the yacht. I would have gave her something real nice to help her sleep. And that box would have got pushed overboard with an anchor tied to it in the middle of shark-infested waters.
I got a message real quick for everybody. Check this out.
Be careful. Get married. I went out, found the perfect woman, 19 years old, beautiful face, a virgin. Nobody ever fucked her. And I had an ass like this. Pow! And the ladies like, blam! The titties like, pow! She was so fine. She's one of the people that's so fine when you see them, they make you ugly. You be like, God damn. She was fine. I went, I cut all my girls up. So that's it. I'm getting married. This is it. Gonna be me and her. I was so happy. And I went out and I went shopping. And I was waiting on the line. And I saw the Inquirer magazine when I was waiting on the line. And I saw Johnny Carson on the front page. There was a picture of him like this.
Like an ugly ass face.
Then I said, what's up with Johnny? I turned to the inside story. And his wife was on the other page. And she was like this.
Smiling. Look, smiling like a champ.
And overhead it said, Johnny's wife wants half Johnny's money. I turned that shit back to Johnny.
So Eddie Murphy told y'all way back in, what was this, the 90s, early 90s?
80s.
80s? That they want half. And ever since I think it's Eddie Murphy's fault. I blame his ass. Because nobody talked about half until he said this joke.
Hey, listen.
The women was like, damn, I can do that? Look.
In our community, half would have just meant you getting half these goddamn bills because I'm stuck in the projects. What you getting half of?
Yeah.
It's
Half
ridiculous.
the apartment?
I just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
You don't think they should get half? I think they should do a percentage throughout the years that you were married.
I think that they should get something, but as far as getting half of what I earned, what I created, no. Unless you help me create it. If you help me create it, we created it together, you are worth half. But if you didn't help me create it, you are not worth half.
So basically, for all the married men, work the shit out of your wife to make sure she do half of the work. Because if y'all
Exactly.
she gonna want half of it.
Tom, I have to disagree with you because I say they get half. They're supposed to get half. They should get half. Absolutely. Half.
Yeah. Okay. You can get half. Okay.
Look, tone like you can have a car too. You cut those brake lines and stuff.
Yeah. Let's not fight. Let's not fight. Let's live.
That's where I'm at. That's the way you said that. I don't feel like going through all that.
Yeah, let's not fight. Let's live in peace.
Why? Because
I walked away from a child care and everything else just for a piece of
right.
mind.
That's it. We have to walk away. Why can't you walk away? Why can't you walk away?
You ain't buying enough pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Well, as we say, the world is not an even place no matter what. Think about it.
Oh, it's not.
Men, women, it's not even. It's more so if we can just basically, and that goes both ways for the women. I don't want the women mad at me. If we can basically do even respect, everything even, then life would be so much simpler.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just not logically that way. Like women always say, well, when men bang 6 or 7 women, they the man. But a woman bang 6 or 7 men, they whores.
Absolutely. Amen. That is good. She's a whore. She's a whore.
So that's why they get upset. And then we feel the same way. Like, wait a minute. If I worked and took out, how is it that you can take all this and you go to court, say child support court, you already go down there like this.
You can already know.
You already know. Look,
you already know.
And the thing about it is, nowadays, which the courts have to look at is, some men raising their kids, doing more than a woman doing. So how do you be biased when things change? I went through a situation 30 years ago where I wanted to have custody and I took care of my son and everything, and I had to fight to take care of my kid when they didn't want to be bothered. Why do I have to fight? Now, if she came down here to be all right, this, that, this, and that.
Right.
So
and just like that situation, I know of another situation of a brother who took his 2 sons in, and because she was a doctor in the United States Navy, he tried to get this medical care and a small some type of support for the kids. Didn't get it. But let it have been flipped around. They'd have took his ass to court.
Right.
Well, he shouldn't be so damn lazy. He need to take his ass to work and get some goddamn benefits for that kid.
No, he was working. He was working. I'm just saying couldn't get nothing. And the judge even said to him when he came down there, "Why are you here?" And he said, "Because I have custody of my 2 sons." And the judge was like, "So?"
I agree with the judge. He shouldn't have got shit. Take your ass to work and shut up. Stop. Be a man. Smack him upside the head. Get your ass on.
I don't want to get married because of that reason, because a dollar costs too much in relationships.
Who said that?
Miss Dorothy.
Oh.
Dot.
Who?
I call it Dot. Y'all know chicken lady, the one that cooked the chicken. Good chicken. Dot. She on Facebook.
Well, that's why she's still married, because she cooked the chicken. She not a cook.
No, she says she don't want to get married because of
then her chicken ain't as good as she think people. She try to convince people.
She said the dollar caused too many problems. That's a shame that the dollar controls every situation. Think about it.
Yep.
Every situation.
Yep.
True.
Like, I'm trying to think of one situation that a dollar don't
Yeah.
control.
None. Because it even controls sex.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because you look on Facebook, right? And you see some of the ugliest bulls that got money with the prettiest women.
Yeah.
And you be sitting there like, and they treat them like trash. Like, don't open the door, don't pump the gas or nothing.
Right.
Like, okay, what is this about? Then you see the bull got money, you be like, okay, I see what that's about.
Yep.
Got a dollar, make you holler.
And people will give up their happiness just for a dollar.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, Simply D, what else we got? Because I know our president is somewhere in the mix of your
yes.
Real quick, she said you don't talk about my chicken till you have tasted. What else we got, Simply D?
So we got a lot on this guy. What do you think about his comments that he's done more for African Americans than Abraham Lincoln?
Well,
Since Abraham Lincoln.
you're talking about the same person that said he's done more for Christians than Jesus Christ.
He said that too?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. So
Wow.
I mean, what can you do for a person that's orange in color? They got a big ass toupee on his head.
You know, yesterday was the first time that I actually sat and watched his speech when he was talking about. I think he was what was he at with the police officers behind him and everything.
Yeah.
That's the first, no lie. That's the first actual speech that I said, let me sit and watch this guy and see, like, actually absorb what he's talking about. And I was just sitting there like, it's like talking to a dude on the street, like, yeah, because, you know, Biden's an idiot. I'm sitting there like, yo, you run a country and you just talking like stupid.
Right. He has no class whatsoever. None.
Yeah, but the reason that he's president is because our country was not ready for a woman to run the country. So people said, you know what? Instead of having a woman run this country, I'd rather pick Trump to run this country. And now we stuck with some asshole that's his racism shows.
Yes.
His foolishness shows. And his lack of education, it exudes from his pores. He's just the worst.
Yeah.
You know?
And he has no type of, you know, when you're the president of the United States, this is the way I look at it. You're supposed to be, and it's not to use Obama because he's black. I'm using Obama because of his elegance, the way he presents himself, how he more so acts cool that you know that he's human, but at the same time, he stands up to be, you know, the president.
Right.
And that goes back to Mr. Winston and stuff like that. And the people that grew up, it's a certain respect that you give people because of the way they come off and the way they present themselves and what they say out their mouth.
Right.
You know, and just sit there and watch that whole thing. It was just like, and then the statements that y'all saying he said, it's like, wow, like, if I voted for Trump, I would really be sitting there like, yo, what was I, high or something? Like, did I just say eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and just like, what did, you know? But if you read these comments when he speaks, you have a lot of people that's backing this dude 110%. And if we don't come out and vote, we're going to get him again. And it's like, wow.
But the crazy thing is these people that's voting for him, most of them are all out racist. The other ones are just, they're Republicans, don't matter. You could put Homie the Clown up there that's running as a Republican, and they would support him. Because this is what they do.
Right.
But because he's a all out racist and they know he's a racist, a lot of them support him because of that. Yeah. Just like the thing he came up with, the executive order he put in place last week. No more Section 8 housing for people or funding for people that live in the suburbs. And then he turned around and posted, you know, the people in the suburbs no longer have to deal with this nonsense. So we're taking our neighborhoods back. Now,
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, now, what nonsense is he referring to? Because he's basically saying that most people that are on Section 8 housing and or welfare are African American, which is false.
Exactly.
Because most people that are on Section 8 housing and welfare are Caucasian.
Exactly. That's the point I was going to make. But you're trying to make it seem as though it's more of us.
Exactly.
Not. It's not.
But you know what that's about, right? That whole media control thing about making it look like it's us is the more so keep our character and our what's the word I'm looking for? To keep it looking like we're at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because if you keep basically saying that, you know, again, like with the black on black crime, it's always that in the news. It's like program, this whole media, listen to movies, is all that is portraying what they want children and a generation and even adults don't have the psychological mind to really say this is bullshit, keep them programmed to think that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, if I keep telling you that the clouds is black and blue, black and blue, black and blue, black and blue, and keep programming you that way, you're gonna start wondering, are you seeing what you really seeing, or is it really black and blue?
Yep.
Repetition is everything. Even when it comes to, you know, wanting to create and make something happen, it also can hurt you if you don't have, you know, if you don't think things through. If somebody
Right.
keeps telling you something, this and that, Jay-Z is the best man, Jay-Z, 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 you be sitting there having a conversation and use him as an example. You don't know anything about this man, but because you hear so much, you're programmed to say, oh yeah, Jay-Z's the man. like, like
It's
stupid songs you hear. You ever hear them dumbass songs on the radio that you
Yeah.
be like, yo, what the hell? And then all of a sudden you drive and you be like,
Yeah, because they keep playing programming.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's almost like they creating, and I'm not saying it's the same thing, so I don't want people to get this misconstrued what I'm about to say. But it's almost like you're creating Stockholm syndrome in people. I keep drilling something in your head until you start to believe it and you become prisoner to it. So if I keep telling you that nobody loves you, nobody loves you, nobody loves you, eventually you're going to start to say, you know what, don't nobody love me. I'm out here in this world by myself.
Yep.
Don't nobody care. So when people come along and they try to tell that they try to show you that they love you, you're standoffish with them.
Yep.
Because you're so used to somebody that's telling you don't nobody love you and treating you like shit, that when somebody come along and try to show you that there's a better life than this, you just have to step out there and do something, then it's okay. But it creates that thing in people's minds that, you know what, this guy is who he is. He's for his people, but this is just him. Realistically, at the end of the day, when you listen to him talk and you listen to the issues he don't address issues.
He don't.
He deflect blame every chance he get. He sit and talk about Joe Biden and what he calls Joe Biden, old Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically speaking, Joe Biden is 77, Donald Trump is 74. Donald Trump's wife was born in 1970. So she's 50.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, you was a grown ass man before your wife was born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you know, when you look at him, you have to take most of the things he say at less than face value, because you know that when he's talking, he's about to feed you some bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's not French, so I'm not excusing my French. That's all English. It's
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? The thing about it is the stuff that he don't know anything, but if you notice when it comes to having to talk about anything, he brings people up
mm-hmm.
that actually knows things that's going on.
But when they don't agree with him, he fires them.
Yeah. Yeah. Automatically. Yeah. I was like you, Mark. I watched for the first time because I was interested. I watched the interview that he just did with this dude, Swan. And, you know, the guy asked him about the coronavirus. And he started pulling out these papers. Look at these charts. We're not behind. We're number one. We're doing this. And the guy was like, but we got all these deaths. How can you sit there and say we'll handle it? Well, if you look at the fact that we do more testing than anybody, of course our numbers are going to be higher. He was like, yeah. I think he said Korea only has something like maybe 5,000 or 500 or 5,000 deaths, something like that. He said, but look at their nation. Here, we don't do as much testing as we do, and this all happened with China, and because I closed the border, it was like you said, all he was doing was deflecting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, these charts don't really mean anything. Like, are you kidding me? But he kept like, no, you got to look at these charts. You got to look at these charts. Dude, come on with the charts. You know what I mean? We've got a lot of deaths here in the United States because of the coronavirus, because you mishandled it and thought it was a hoax.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you're backpedaling and telling people, oh, you got to wear your mask and all this, that, and other. Before you said they didn't have to. You wasn't wearing one.
And he still don't.
Yeah.
The thing with that whole, I don't know. I think with China's because China's more a disciplined type of country. Like when this stuff happened, it was like shut everything the hell down.
Exactly.
Straight from the door. He
Yep.
wanted to play with it.
Yeah.
That's basically why, I think that we're doing more testing, because the simple fact we're not set up. It's like they're gambling. They say, oh, maybe we could try this. Oh, shit, that didn't work. Maybe we should do this and shut this down. Oh, no, that didn't work.
You know what? I don't really think that he played with it. I think that he wanted to use it as a weapon to destroy the minority population. Because if he can get rid of the minority population and make America great again, try to make it all white, that he felt like that would push him over the top. Because most people that are minorities, blacks, Hispanics, or Latinos, however you want to identify them, Africans, so on and so forth, that are citizens of this country now, that ain't buying into his bullshit. If you can get rid of these people, then that will push his votes over the top. Right now, his popularity, even amongst the Republicans, has plummeted. So he's trying to do and say any and everything that he can to create division amongst the races.
Yeah.
And people feeding right into it.
Right.
And because he's even filed some injunctions in different cities, saying that he thinks that the mail-in vote is going to be fraudulent, and so he's filing injunctions already because he anticipates that he's going to lose. Because he even said, "I'm not going to leave the White House." So it's going to be very interesting to see when he loses how they get him out of that White House.
Real quick, I don't know if this is on it, but since we on here, what do y'all feel about this mail-in ballot stuff that they talking about?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. Too many people has died for the right to give us the chance to vote. And mail-in balloting is given the U.S. Postal Service. And I'm not saying that somebody in the Postal Service is going to be dirty, but it's that the Postal Service, and I used to be a mailman, loses millions of pieces of mail each year. So what makes me think that my mail-in vote is not going to get lost in the mail or it's not going to get counted? So I need to make sure my vote is going to get counted. So I'm going out and I'm going to stand in the line with my mask on, and I'm going to stand there and I'm going to cast my vote.
Yeah. Because what happens is they know all our information.
Right.
So who say that they can't print up some votes that for you, me, Simply D, Miss Darkchild, and have that bag ready? And when that bag come in, they go, okay, and switch them. You can do so many things with paper. I mean, really, think about it. You can do so many things. Watch some of the mob pictures. Look, they break it down how they controlled the election.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. Like, and when was America great? Where's this? I heard T.I. say that on the show. He said, hold up. They saying make America great again. When was America great for black people?
It has never been.
Never.
It has never been, but it has been for the clear coats. And I hate to say it because it's not all of them, and it sounds like that you bunching every white person up into a bundle and saying that all of you guys are racist, and it's not the case. But for the majority of Caucasians, when African Americans were enslaved, it was great for them. They didn't have to work. Only thing they had to do was control their slaves.
Right.
So when you're talking about making America great again, what are you actually talking about? Because when has it been great for us? When has it been great for Hispanics, Latinos, Mexicans, Indians? This is a country that took the land. They ain't still it. They took it from Indians. So when has it been great for these people?
And that's why they have to control us. We're being programmed before we rise up as African Americans and people of color and take the land back. So this is why they have to keep us under control.
All right, I'm like out in the park right now. It's like over in the distance is a group. There's a group of black and white people sitting there chilling, enjoying themselves. I think they playing like dominoes, cards, or something like that. You know what I mean? So, like you said, everybody's not a racist, and we can all get along, just like these people are doing right now. You know what I mean? But he wants to divide us. He wants to keep us divided. He doesn't want to see stuff like this happen. You know what I mean? They sitting out here in the park chilling. You know what I mean?
So
It's
I got
crazy.
one question though. You know what my question is?
What's that?
They got their masks on. They got their masks on. Yo, but you want to hear something funny? I don't know if y'all heard, but they are actually, I forgot where it was at. I just heard it. That say I have a cookout and I got like 40 people here.
Yeah.
They're actually calling the city to shut down people water and electric if they see you having so many people. I forgot where this was at. California, I think it was in California.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, look it up when we get off. They said if you got more than a certain amount of people, and because they had the video and the borough had a pool party, had a whole bunch of people there, they're starting to basically now shut people water and electric down to your house if you are over populating your home.
Oh, get out of here.
Real quick, hey to Carol. We got Carol on. We got Joy on. We got Lala on. They're all basically commenting, saying never. Let's see what else. This one, the divide. Yeah, this one is going to make us divided. If we wasn't divided before, we definitely going to be divided now.
But this election?
Him and this whole situation. Yeah.
Wow.
See, I think what it is never going to change until people not let situations divide us. When we stand together as one and people understand why we march and why we do what we do as African Americans because of what we've been through. Because you have some Caucasians out there that say, I'm with you. I understand far as what I know and I support you and I see why you are the way and acting and doing the way that you're doing.
Right.
That's a whole different ball game. But when you get people like, man, look, all lives matter, this and that, it's not about that right now.
Right.
And I mean, it's about what's going on with us. So if you stand with us so we can take care of this situation, then we can get back to everybody else. But right now, we are the top priority because we are the ones that's dying on the street. We're the ones that nobody's paying attention to when it comes to things.
Well, let me just add this to you because I just looked it up. It is Los Angeles.
Okay.
That the mayor of Los Angeles says the city may shut down water and power to houses that's hosting large gatherings.
Yep. Yeah, I just saw that on the news. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Now, my thing is, that means that they're going to have to pay. That's like booting your car. Basically, they shutting you down. So that means that whatever fine they're going to get that you have, you're going to have to pay that before they get your water and electric on.
Yep.
And now people going to fight. Well, my kid is on oxygen tanks, this and that, my children. So this is going to cause a whole, we're going to see this for a couple weeks go on if they do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what happens is this, back to what I was saying, what people are going to do is going to say, oh, y'all wrong. And they forgot about these people are having things that can kill you, that's spreading a disease. That goes out the door now because you shut the water down to somebody that has a 10-year-old. So now it's fight, turn the water back on. Okay.
Right.
He said the hell with you, didn't care about infecting you by having this party of 100 people. It's like we don't look, you know what I mean? This is like I said about free Uncle Jesse that killed 10 people. What the hell is you talking about? Like,
right.
I mean? Let's keep it 100. Uncle Jesse's a murderer. Keep his ass in jail. Cousin Willie, raped somebody. Yes, chop his dick off. Throw him in jail.
Right.
Right is right, wrong is wrong. And that's where we got to start thinking for people to understand that we not playing.
And I think that's part of the reason why half of the time we're not taken seriously when we protest, because you have people who want to go protest for somebody who's guilty as hell.
Mm-hmm.
What are you protesting for? The dude is guilty, or the the female is guilty. What are you protesting for? You know what I mean? Now, when you go out and you protest for someone who is innocent, how can we take you serious? Because you was just protesting last week for this person who was guilty.
You was the boy
You know?
that cried wolf.
Yeah.
The boy that cried
Yep.
wolf. And that's the part that's crazy. So what's this about how you went off of all Black Lives Matter posts? What was that about, Simply D?
Oh, I went off?
Yeah, somebody, Joy said you went off with the Black Lives Matter post or something? Something happened?
What it wasn't a like I said again, it was the protest. Mike Dicker, Mike Dicker and John Elway, both of them came out and they was like, oh yeah, well, if anybody protests on my team, they're gonna be fired. Nobody in the NFL should be kneeling and all this kind of crap. And like I said, I had a couple people was like, oh yeah, you're right. They shouldn't be kneeling for the national anthem, and they shouldn't be protesting baseball and basketball and all that. And I simply said, this is the United States. Everyone should have the right to protest whatever they want to protest. I was in the Navy. I protest. Okay? So right is right, wrong is wrong. The national anthem is a racist song to me. The third verse, which nobody sings, is racist. Look it up, read it for yourself. Half of the people don't want to acknowledge it. So the one individual, I posted the lyrics. And then he still wanted to not acknowledge it and called me a moron. And then I went deeper. I says, okay, the dude who wrote the lyrics for the national anthem, Francis C. Scott, owned slaves and was a slave owner. He's the one who wrote the damn song. Was he racist? He had slaves? So, of course, then, they don't want to acknowledge that fact. They don't want to talk about that. He wanted to proceed to try to curse me out. Dude, I'm not that guy. So we went at it. And then he tried to tell me he had his family is diverse. Well, if they die, your family is diverse, then you should understand.
I wish see, they got another Mark getting pissed off moment. People try to throw up this, oh, my Uncle Jesse is black or my cousin is white. That don't mean you know the history of the opposite, like, race.
Exactly.
I have white people in my family. My nephews and nieces is mixed. My great-grandmother was Irish. So I'm not going to sit there and say I understand what white people been through or how white people feel. How the hell can I say that? I wasn't around them like that.
Right.
So you get a lot of people that say, when you say, oh, something about us as black people, say something, you have people saying, well, my cousin Uncle Jesse is black. Okay, what that got to do with how I feel about the way my ancestors or the way I am being treated when I go into places and people look at me like I'm just this mass murderer or whatever the case may be.
Especially if you wasn't raised with them or around them. You don't know how they feel and what they went through.
Exactly. That's the part that people have to understand. That's where it goes to research before you come out your mouth and say something to another person that don't, like I can't tell a woman something about a woman's body and argue with her about it. You understand what I mean? She gonna look at me like, wait a minute, how the hell you know that?
What's crazy is me and a couple other fellas were doing this thing on Facebook where we putting up experiences that we had with the police. Incidents. One I had when I was dating an Italian girl and how we got pulled over and how the cop proceeded to ask her if she was being kidnapped and all this kind of stuff. And another one, when me and my brother went back down south and how this was the late 60s, how we had to step off of the boardwalks in North Carolina in order to let two white women pass. And we didn't do it quick enough. And when we got back home, the police came to the house and was like, two young police officers. And they said, called my grandfather, who was much older than them, a boy. And we like, what? How you disrespecting my grandfather? And they gonna tell my grandfather, where are they from? He said, they from up north. He said, well, you better teach them how we do stuff down here. You know what I mean? So I put those two things up that happened to me personally. And I had people coming at my neck. oh, you shouldn't have put that up there. You know, I don't know what you're talking about. This. I don't know what I'm talking about when it happened to me. It was my other friends come on and said that how they felt sorry that happened to me, blah 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 blah. But I still had negative comments over an experience that happened to me.
Well, that's because some people don't want you to utilize your experience to educate other people, right? And two,
Mm-hmm.
people don't want you talking about things when they're trying to cover up things. You know, it's like, come on, why you keep talking about that, bringing that up? Like,
Yeah,
why wouldn't I not bring it up?
exactly. You
You
know,
know,
I,
why
I
wouldn't I not
and
educate?
I'm sure there are many of us who have experiences with either a negative experience with police or a negative racial experience. I have a lot. I could have put a whole lot more up. I just chose those two. You know what I mean? But I have other race situations that I could have talked about that would blow people's minds.
Huh? When I lived in Northeast, I had somebody take feces. Remember, cuz they basically pooped on the back of my
Mm-hmm.
door when I was trying to open up a childcare up Northeast. I had a
Mm-hmm.
swastika on the side of my house that they painted on my house because I was the first African American to live on a block.
Right.
Then I had to go through, of course, the permits and stuff to open up my childcare, and I had the whole neighborhood signing a petition that they didn't want me to open a business on a block. So,
Wow.
and I cried to, of course, what do? You go to your senators and stuff like that to fight. But because, which I'm not going to put this senator out there, even though she's not in office no more, basically sided with the Caucasians, Senator Kitchen. But, she basically sided with the Caucasians, and we had to
And
do
all this,
another lawsuit to fight to try to open up a business that was going to not be all black, because we had Caucasians, we had African Americans, we had Hispanics in the child care, but they was trying to close us down and trying to take the right steps. Of course, in business, sometimes people go with the majority because they might be the block captain or they might know their Uncle Charlie might be a judge. So it's
mm-hmm.
an unfair situation that you have to fight. And something that Carolyn said real quick on our Facebook Live is that this is one of the reasons why we have to support our businesses, the business that's not trying to overcharge you and get over on their own people, but the true African American business that's trying to grow. The realtors that's African American, you have to support your own so we can financially build up our community. Not saying that we're not going to work with other people, but we have to take care of ourselves first because nobody else is going to take care of you but you.
Amen. Listen, I have to go.
Okay.
Step out early. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. We'll be back on with this, but your boy got to go. Peace and blessings.
All right, good bro. I'll talk to you.
All right.
All right. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I think that, we have to start doing is supporting ourselves and each other and stop always trying to say, oh, well, it's a jealousy thing. A lot of times we don't support each other because we don't want to see that person that looks like us achieve what they're trying to achieve. You understand what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm not going to bother them because they might have a Benz or something. But it's okay to support, other people that don't look like you and have them ride around the Benz or live in the suburbs. How backwards is that? Like, really, how?
wait for my sound.
Wait a minute, say again, bro.
I was waiting for my sound to come back on. My battery was dying. Go ahead. I'm with you.
Oh, that's why you was chopping up. Yeah, but that's the whole thing that I think now. Like she says, this is why we should, as a culture of Black Americans, to pull together as one to support each other. That's what Carolyn put up there.
Right. And my problem is most of the time some of us will side with the powers to be only because we don't want to lose our position.
Oh yeah.
What happened to being right and standing up and fighting for what you believe in? And as her being a senator, that's what her job was supposed to be. not to side with the masses. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But she's not in office now, so que sera, sera.
yeah. And I'm hoping Mr. Street is doing a better job
Mm-hmm.
because that's his
You
district
know,
now.
it's a shame that we cannot come together as a people because we always have somebody within our circles that look to bring us down, or they can find somebody in our circle that they can pay or they can coerce not to go along with the masses. For instance, how in the hell do you as a black person go and throw paint on a Black Lives Matter sign and say it's in the name of Jesus?
I think I saw that.
Really? Really?
I really think I think I saw that. I
Really? And she was allowed to do it to 4 displays while the cops just stood there. You know what I mean? So, but you be I guarantee you, be the first one to stand up and be crying if it was one of your family members that had got taken the hell out.
and this is the part that I think that we got to get out of that selfish mentality. You know what I mean? A lot of self
Mm-hmm.
that we have
Yep.
to get away from, far as just thinking about other people. Because when
Yeah.
you build people up, what's going to happen is you're building up the community. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're tearing people down, what happened is you hurt the community. For example, this just came to mind real quick, and I guess we can end early if you want, because I know you're in the car. Do you remember Sadior? She, from what I hear, give out turkeys and do a lot of different things for her community down off of 22nd Street, the one that had a country cooking restaurant.
Okay.
Food and stuff like that. So when they went
Right.
up with her years ago, that whole community, and I don't know if they didn't, but this is an example of how you deal with things that, in my opinion, should have came together and supported her. We have to stop letting our heroes, I'll call them, get taken under and not fight for them.
Yep. Yep. But you know what? You know what happens with that? It is because somebody's jealous.
Yeah.
If you got somebody who's jealous of what you're doing, they're gonna go around and they're gonna put a bug in everybody's ear to tear you down because they don't want to see you succeed.
That irritates
You know what I mean?
when people
It's very irritating.
Yeah.
Very irritating.
Yeah.
And what kills me is you never know where it's coming from. You know what I mean?
That's because the cow.
So right, because and follow me where I'm going. When I say you never know where it's coming from, you never know who's jealous of you. But what's crazy to me is it could be the neighbor that's jealous of you. It could be somebody who has same type of business as you that's jealous of you. It could be your brother that's jealous of you. It could be your sister that's jealous of you.
Ain't that
It
sad?
could be your wife or your husband that's jealous of you because they don't want to see you succeed and be more successful than them.
And the thing about it is, when Noah was building that ark,
Mm-hmm.
what did he do? He told everybody to get on. The people
Yep.
that got on are the ones that didn't drown.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you got to do when it comes to business and people. And I've learned that it's a shame that I'm just starting to grasp that's how it is. After all these years, since '88, being in business, doing different things, I'm just finally understanding that, because we take a lot of energy and time. Oh man, it messes with us. And we end up taking our focus off of what we're trying to do and putting it on that now.
Exactly.
So now
Exactly.
I've learned that once that person do that, you move them and you keep focused on what you're doing.
And you keep exactly because all they are is a dream killer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You waste so much. You can waste so much time on your dreams and your hopes because you told a dream killer who's going to tell you you'll never succeed at that. Oh, you're wasting your time. Why you want to do that? Nah, man, you that's just a waste of your. You're a dream killer.
Yeah.
And we don't. Most of us don't get that until it's too late. You know what I mean? But like you said, we're now in certain positions as we start to evolve that we're starting to pick up on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're starting to pick up on those individuals and we're starting to say, oh, okay, you've been in my circle all this time, and all this time you've been planting those little tidbits in my head that I can't succeed at this.
Yeah.
And I'm just catching on. You know
It's
what I
like
mean?
a rose bush, and you got that one weed in there that's
They
basically
gotta go.
infecting everybody. And
Yep.
that's why sometimes I think as a business person and as a human being, period, you have to sit down and you have to analyze who's around you and who's been with you, and again, who's not with you. It's like that saying that I said on Morning Coffee with Thought one day. I said, it's like you having your boat and there's a hole in the boat, and all of a sudden you see water, and you turn around and you see all these motherfuckers jumping off the boat. Right? And then you see 2 or 3 people like, yo, where the bucket's at? And one person stuck their finger in it, like, come on, let's stop this. Let's get this water out. Those are the people that you keep around you. But the other motherfuckers that jumped off the boat, that's how people are when it comes to life, when it comes to business, when it comes to just work, everything. When things start to sink, that's when you fall back and you see the people that's really riding with you.
Exactly.
People that basically jumped off the boat and they on the island looking like this, slapping each other fives and shit. And you sitting there like, damn, I filled the boat so we can get to where we were trying to go.
Mm-hmm. And the sad thing is, when you make it and build that new boat, when you make it back to shore and build that new boat, they be the first ones in line to get on.
They be like, I knew you was going to be all right.
Yep.
I knew you was going to be all right. Yo, you got my seat? I'm ready now. You know,
I talked to this young lady one day. I didn't know her from a can of paint. She walked up to me. We were outside on break, and she was like, "You look like somebody I could talk to." I said, "What's up?" She says, "I hate my job, and I want to start my own business." I said, "So why don't you?" She said, "Because my husband won't support me." I said, "Well, what is your business?" She said, "I want to open up my own catering business." I said, "So I tell you what you do." I said, "Why don't you?" I said, "Because we work in Center City. A lot of stuff is not open on the weekends. Why don't you start your business, get some flyers, drop them off in the hotels down here, and start simply doing that, selling food to the hotel workers on the weekends." I said, from there, you show your husband what's going on. If he's still not with it, you still keep doing it. I said, as you progress, he's still not with it, you keep doing what you're doing. I said, sooner or later, you're going to blow up, and he's going to win in. I said, that's going to be the time to let his ass go and keep moving.
Yeah.
Yep,
Because
and keep moving.
You gotta have people around you, relationship, friends, family, that's gonna push you. Because we already know the bumps and bruises in business that you're gonna go through is guaranteed. I don't know one person in business that just said, I'm gonna start a business. Wow, they're a billionaire, millionaire.
Right, exactly.
You're gonna have those bumps and bruises that's lessons. And the thing that separate successful people from people that don't make it is the people that give up. You gotta have the mentality. Like last night when we do spinning on Wednesdays, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'll be like, yo, I'm ready, man. Shit, this shit tired. I'm ready to quit.
Yeah.
What I do is I say, if I quit and give up, cycling, I'm gonna be mad at myself. I will basically be more proud with myself if I push myself to finish, because then I can celebrate myself. And that's something that we have to learn how to do, is no matter who around you, celebrate yourself for every little win that you make.
Exactly.
Like if I paint my house and I'm done the kitchen, I'm celebrating. I'm like, man, I finished. I accomplished something. It always ain't got to be about that big accomplishment. And I learned this from Les Brown. He said this. He said, you line up your steps. Like if I want to go at the top of the steps, every 2 steps, celebrate that you made those 2 steps. The next 2 steps, celebrate. Because what that does is that keeps you out of being depressed and feeling like you're not accomplishing nothing because you didn't make it to the top of the steps. So you got to celebrate the small wins as you go in to get those big wins, and that'll keep you focused. And as far as the people that can't celebrate you from your little accomplishment with you, move their asses out the way.
Well, exactly. Move them out the way. Move them out the way, because all they are is extra baggage that you don't need. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why, like when I'm writing, if I complete a chapter or I finish a book, I celebrate for myself. I know I'm not ready to put it out there yet because of some legal stuff I got to do,
Right.
but I celebrate because I'm like, it's finished. The people who have read it like it. They want it. So once I'm get some stuff straight, I'm set. I'm gonna blow up, and I'm gonna be good.
And that's
You know
the
what I mean?
attitude to have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the attitude to have. But you're gonna have those people, man. If you think that you're gonna do anything, go for that promotion at work, start a business, cook cookies that you want to sell, lose weight, whatever the case may be. If you go into that mission thinking that you're not gonna have some dream killers or some people that say some stuff out their mouth to try to discourage you, you're dreaming.
Exactly.
You're
Because
dreaming.
they there, and they waiting.
Exactly. Yep, absolutely. And then when you
Mhm.
win, that's when you're gonna be looking around like, damn, where all these people come from? That's why people say Will Smith and all these people get new when they make it. You damn right, you better get new, because if not, as fast as you made it, those people gonna go do some dumb stuff that's gonna destroy your
Bring you
empire.
down. Yep.
Yeah. So you gotta be
Yep.
careful who you have around you. And this is why people be like, oh, you roll out this and that. Yep, I roll with that woman upstairs. That's what I roll with. Because the simple fact,
Exactly.
I know she gonna tell me what it is.
Yep. And that's why when people be like, yo, let's hang out. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you gotta.
I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? Because right now, I look at it as, I don't know everything that you into. You could be into some negative stuff. I have to be concerned about my brand and what I'm involved in. I'm involved with open conversation. I'm involved with Be Mindful. I'm involved with the Simply D brand. You know what I mean? I'm involved with uh, the thing that you and I are working on with the writing,
Twine.
intertwine. You know what I mean? So I have to be concerned about all those things, because all of those things are different brands and things that I'm involved with that could be very successful, but one negative thing can bring them down. And
Yep.
if I'm out there get caught doing something negative with you, I risk to lose everything. And I can't allow that to happen.
And not even that big, bro. Think about this. If you work a job that's paying your bills, that's feeding your family, and you get in a car and somebody get in a car with you and they got drugs on them or something,
Mm-hmm.
that's bringing you problems. Now your job firing, you got to fight for your job. You got to fight to get out of jail. You got to fight that it wasn't yours. It's so much that you have to watch around you. And somebody told me this a long time ago. They said, it's so easy to get in trouble. No, it's so easy to get in trouble, but it's so hard to get the hell out of it. Some way they said it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right. Yeah.
And it's like, you have to, you got to be careful who you surround yourself with, period.
Yep.
Not just that, just the energy, the attitude, the whole. Look at us. You be around somebody for 30 years, who would ever think? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Who would ever think?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
You understand?
Who would have thought?
It's like you never know what and who's around you. So you got to be careful.
Exactly. You got to be careful, and then at the same time, you don't know who in that group is jealous of you either.
And that's the part. It's rough. It's rough, and you ain't even got to have that. You get people that's jealous of you, and you can have a pot to piss in or whatever they say, and people still just be jealous just because you happy.
Right.
People don't know you. People don't know you. They be like, I don't like that motherfucker. You be like, why you don't like him?
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like that motherfucker. You be like,
right. Exactly.
Like, what is you talking about?
How stupid is that?
Yo.
Right.
I get people, all the time. I be like, damn, he ain't never do nothing for me. Like, just because you don't like him don't mean that me and him ain't going to get along.
Exactly.
And this is why I tell people, why you always bad-mouthing this? Because your relationship and my relationship is two different things. It might be you. It might not be. It might be
exactly.
You.
It might be you. Exactly.
And people don't think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that's why I judge individuals for who that individual is and how they treat me, not what they got going on with you. Because you could be the one. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's just crazy.
Well, on that note, brother, it's what, 2 minutes to 8? We rocked out. Did we cover all the topics that you had?
We did cover all the topics.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
So
Yes,
for
we did.
everybody that's been watching, that's going to watch on the YouTube channel, or that's watching on Facebook, make sure y'all go to YouTube and look up Sadior Radio, the station that's more than music, where you'll see open conversation. Be mindful. We're going to get them on there rolling. You got the Brown Girls. You got Carolyn, talking with Carolyn. You got
The
DJ.
Diva Show.
You got everything. You got the Diva Show. You have all these different things that's on one platform, and that's Sadior Radio. And what we do is we, like Simply D say, we educate, we entertain and educate, educate through entertainment. There you go. We do
Yeah.
that, and that's more so to have fun, to bring you something different. So I appreciate everybody who shared this broadcast. You got any last words, Simply D?
This is your man Simply D. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. August the 16th, myself and Enjoy, we're hosting a launch party for A. Ford in Cooper Rivers Park, New Jersey. Tickets are $10. If you want to come, I'm telling you, it's going to be a good event. You want to come, you can hit me up for tickets. You can hit up Enjoy for tickets. We have all kind of posting and advertisement on Facebook. Or if you like to hire us to push your product, if you want to get a commercial on Sadior Radio, hit up Mark 5, hit up Simply D or one of the other hosts. You can get your product on our station and get advertisement. Trust me, we're a station that's growing and we are very popular. I'm telling you, your product will blow up.
We're in New York. We're in Philly. We're in North Carolina. We're in South Carolina. We're in, let's see, we got a couple other shows coming from Virginia. We got the East Coast locked down, man. We like
Yeah,
that
we even
damn
got some people.
hurricane that just hit yesterday. We all on the East Coast.
Yeah, we got some people who watch us in Haiti too.
Oh, see? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, no, you know what? We got people that watch us all over the world, because we were Total
Yeah.
Life Changes. We got Russia. We got Jamaica. We got Haiti. We got
Yep.
a whole lot of people that
Mhm.
follow our social media. And we definitely
Yep.
thank you and thank all our supporters that's authentic. We mean that from the bottom of our heart. Open Conversation been rocking for like 7 going on 8 years. And our following has grown. And we just want y'all to know that we appreciate y'all. And like I said, stay positive. Like I say every morning on my Coffee for Thought, stay positive, stay at peace, support small business, and do not let negativity run your life. There's enough positive things that's going on. You just got to grab it and bring it to light to show other people that things are positive out there. We just don't show it enough. We show too much negativity. So on that note, I want to say peace. Simply D, good show. To Miss Darkchild, she was on earlier. If you don't know, go back and watch it on YouTube. She got a show in New York. Mr. Fastlane had to run maybe 10 minutes ago. He was on. This was a great show. I appreciate y'all. And everybody have a great night. And make sure you download that free app, Sadior Radio, the station that's more than music. Peace.